I do admit, I think that Billy Joe Saunders has an excellent chance to beat Canelo Alvarez, but obviously easier said than done, right? Now, the good thing about this is for the people that are going to say, oh, you always looking for somebody to try to beat Canelo and, you need to give Canelo his respect, all that old bullshit. Listen, Billy Joe is good, and you would have to be a casual to not understand how good he actually is as a fighter. Now, don't get me wrong. Canelo right now is up there pound for pound. In my personal opinion, there's only one fighter I put above him pound for pound, and that's Lomachenko. And Terence Crawford is my number 3, just my personal opinion. But what Canelo was doing across multiple weight divisions, the fact that even though he vacated his WBO 175-pound title, nonetheless, he can compete at 175 pounds, we've seen. It may be hard for him to go in there against a hard-hitting Bertabiev, but nonetheless, I think that he would have a good chance to be able to pull it through. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to talk about the fight. We're going to go look at the rankings. We're going to go look at the division as a whole. And in my personal opinion, I think that this is going to be the fight that's going to be next. Steve Kim of ESPN got a chance to talk to Oscar De La Hoya about the fight. And basically, of course, Oscar De La Hoya is not ready to give any tidbits yet. But it's looking like, especially when you factor in the rankings, that it's possible that the fight can happen. So what we're going to do, we're going to be back. We're going to go look at some clips and talk about it. So first, let's play respect where respect is due. 53-1-2 with 36 KOs, only 29 years old. By the time he steps into the ring, he'll have, it's crazy, nearly 60 fights under his belt. That's crazy. In his prime, last fight against Sergey Kovalev at 175. Before that, 15 pounds lighter against Danny Jacobs. By the way, it's pretty much being said that he's not going to touch 160 pounds anymore. It's looking like he may not, but if he does, more power to him. It's looking like 168 pounds is where he's going to be staying at for some time. So the Rocky Fielding fight was just a fight to see how he would look at 168 pounds. It was kicked off the Sergey Kovalev, Gennady Golovkin twice, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. They trying to shit on Liam Smith, but Liam Smith is a very credible name and known name, and he was a champion at that time. Amir Khan, I really don't count. Miguel Cotto, James Kirkland, Iris Lindy Lara. I mean, look at this resume. For crying out loud. And then if he were to go on to do this right here, let's go up. To fight Billy Joe Saunders to collect a legitimate title at 168 pounds while holding this world title don't count. In fact, I got to be honest with you. I'm getting to a point where soon I'm going to stop recognizing it, to be honest with you. But that would mean it would open up big fights for a possible, David Benavidez. Now, politically, I'm not saying that it will happen. Caleb Plant's out there taking on Vincent Fegan boots. We don't know what Benavidez is doing next, but his mandatory is Avni Yildirim. They're going to be fighting next. There's also talks that it could be Callum Smith. It's quiet on that side. So, to be honest with you, both of these fights, whether at 168, whether it's Callum Smith or Billy Joe Saunders, I'm all for it. Now, which one is more dangerous? To be honest with you, even though Callum Smith didn't really look too good against John Ryder, he didn't look good at all, to be honest with you. And by the way, John Ryder is even said to be in the mix to get Canelo crazy, right? Even if he didn't look good, still, Callum Smith, given the fight, and with the level of competition he would have to face, I think that, he would look good against Canelo. Now, I'm not in a situation right now where I'm going to say that any of these guys can beat Canelo. By the way, these are the official WBC, WBA, IBF, and WBO rankings on my website, FightView360.com. The link's right down below in the description box. I update these rankings according to the sanctioning bodies every month, all the way from heavyweight down to 108. So for those who don't know, if you're a champion, you can only fight somebody ranked in the top 15 of your sanctioning body. But in the case of Canelo, since he was champion at 175, rest assured that he's going to be ranked at 168 pounds. Now, in regards to Golovkin, don't get me wrong, I like Golovkin, man. But I don't see it happening. I don't see it happening. unless he comes up to 168 pounds. Because right now, with the way Golovkin was looking against Sergey Derevianchenko, it's like, bro, you got some explaining to do. But anyway, going over to Billy Joe Saunders, 29-0 with 14 KOs. Now, I got to be honest with you, huge Billy Joe Saunders supporter. I've been covering Billy Joe Saunders since he first fought, where's he at? Tony Hill, over on another channel I was on. Bradley Price, Gerald Fletcher, highly, big amateur background. Nick Blackwell, Matthew Hall, Gary Spike O'Sullivan, John Ryder, we just talked about him. Emmanuel Blandamara, Chris Eubank Jr., Yuan Boyle. This was when he really got to that next level. But also, he was looking sluggish in those ending rounds. And at 168 pounds, he can't look like that. He could never be against the ropes against a Canelo. And, and he really don't want to be on the back foot. He want to use movement, but not necessarily be on the back foot. But since then, until, he hasn't done anything, and inactivity and pretty much waiting for Canelo and Golovkin. At one point in time, he had an offer from to fight Canelo, but then he had the poor performance against Artur Akavov. I remember I talked to De La Hoya just a couple of days after that fight. He was supposed to fight Golovkin in June, but Golovkin decided to take the Canelo rematch, which he should have, But Billy Joe has got to do something, especially if he's not going to fight a Demetrius Andrade or a Golovkin. I'm talking about his next fight. The fight that's coming up, he's got to do something. You dig me? So here's what Oscar had to say, and I'm sure you probably seen the interview, because this was at Ryan Garcia's media workout just a couple of days ago. So I'm sure you probably seen the many interviews where he talked about, pretty much, in my opinion, given the bluff that no, Billy Joe Saunders is not the only option, and it's not guaranteed that he's next. You know how the business goes. Listen in.
Virgil Ortiz is ready for, and he's going to be ready soon. I would want to face him with everybody, the very best in that division. Obviously we don't.
Oh, no, my bad. That was the Virgil Ortiz one he was talking about. Well, where you at? There we go, right here, right?
I don't. Canelo right now has. No, I don't. Canelo right now has every option in the book because of his jumping up in weight class. Whether he wants to fight at 60 or 68 or even 75. I think the options are endless for him, and so, but we'll make a decision.
Accurate?
No, well, look, I don't.
Yeah, I think that shit is accurate. I think it's happening. So yeah, he's returning on the zone. Guaranteed, what is it, 32 or 33 billion per fight. Crazy. He can't just be fighting nobody. He's got to fight people that move the needle, as it's being said by Bob Arum. And when you look at the names that are available, how many names can move the needle? Also, De La Hoya even said that, one of the Charlos, he didn't say who. I don't know if it was 154. I'm pretty sure it was 160. Jamal Charlo was offered a deal, or a deal was sent over to PBC for Jamal Charlo to take on Canelo last year, and whatever, it was declined. A lot of pressure on Jamal Charlo, by the way, with money being thrown at him from Hearn and all that shit. It's crazy. But whatever. We're gonna see if it does, whenever it does become official. They still got some time, and I'm pretty sure they want to do a press tour. It'd be crazy one day to see Canelo go over to the UK. But I don't think it would be this fight, as the Zone, the network that pays him really wants his fights to, be over here and in territories where they can get people to, drive the subscriptions, and that's Saturday Night Boxing. I'm TstreeT Controversy with FightView360.com. We cover every single major fight live. Please subscribe.